The thesis behind our ad business is one that we're still at the very, very start of. We're about a year into that business. But we seem to be proving the thesis, and the traction's great, and the advertising is stuff that we're starting to be really, really proud of, and those advertisers are starting to be really, really proud of. So look, the gist of it is the biggest brands in the world were built in large part through marketing, through great advertising. That great advertising was storytelling. Those first iPod commercials, the dancing silhouettes, they made me want to dance. I can't dance. I wanted to buy the iPod and dance around my apartment, watching those just gorgeous aspirational commercials. You don't get to Coca-Cola or Pepsi or Audi or BMW or any of the level of any of these huge, huge brands without telling a story that gets people to aspire to become customers of yours. It used to be these places where we used to consume media, or we used to consume most of the media we were consuming, had a lot of room for storytelling. You could actually do some storytelling in a 30 or 60-second TV spot. Look at the gorgeous fashion advertising when you open up a Vogue today. It is incredibly aspirational. Makes you want to be a customer of Dior and Louis Vuitton and all of these things. You open up the web today, you go to any of the big networks where people are spending more and more of their time, and you don't have the opportunity for that kind of storytelling. You get hyper-targeted little blue links. And it's interesting, the reason everybody seems to be going here is because it's been proven. It's sort of safe. Google showed us this remarkable business model, and every network since then has lined up behind Google, replicating that same business model. What that business model is really great at is, there are a few ways to describe it. I'm sure you guys have heard, it's the bottom of the funnel advertising. It's harvesting intent. What it's really good at is taking the person who's in the market for something and getting them to go buy it at Best Buy rather than, or buy it at Amazon rather than at Best Buy. It's really good at, Facebook today hitting you, and they know that you're of age and in a market where you're going to be getting your driver's license in the next few weeks, and they want to make sure that you go check out the Chevy dealership before you show up in the Ford dealership. That hyper-targeting is really good at hyper-optimizing those little blue links. The problem is you can't tell a story with a little blue link. And so much of building big billion-dollar brands is storytelling. It's getting people to aspire to become customers. It's not harvesting intent, it's creating intent. And there isn't a lot of room to do that on the internet. So where we've got an audience on Tumblr that shows up to be surprised, to see stuff that inspires them, to see stuff that moves them, as Tumblr is built on a community of creators, and we're constantly trying to build new, novel, creative tools, it was natural. It made so much sense for us. I should say, it didn't start in, oh man, it started in, we really didn't want to see those awful little blue links on Tumblr. We said, what else is there? And we said, man, we've already got these tools for creators. We already have people who are building this extraordinary stuff on Tumblr, and an audience that shows up on Tumblr to be surprised. They don't show up for their friends. They don't show up to see status updates. They show up to be surprised, to see stuff that they love and enjoy. And we already saw a handful of brands that were doing a really good job of making that great stuff, who were building a big following on Tumblr, where people weren't balking at the ads that they were creating. They were really enjoying the content that they were making. So we said, what, this is it. And the way that we're going to get there is by going right to that creative advertising community, those guys that have been just sort of shit all over in this new world of data science and big data and all of this, where we've said, no, it's not about the creative, it's about A, B, C, and D testing this little blue link to get it from a 60% conversion up to a 64, or a 60% conversion up to a 0.64% conversion. Go right to that community that's responsible for the kinds of ads that have built those biggest brands, the types of ads that we wouldn't balk at seeing on Tumblr, and make them our evangelists, empower them to actually make something great on the internet. And we showed up in their offices last year to say, look, you guys aren't doing anything on the internet today that's so lame. We think you could do amazing stuff on Tumblr. What do you think? And we showed them the examples. We showed them exactly what we were thinking. And they became our champions. And they've been helping us go out into the advertising community. They've been helping us inspire the biggest marketers, advertisers, the biggest brands to do storytelling on what is now the biggest medium in the world, something that they weren't doing before. And I think that has the potential to be a really, really big business.